Hi everyone, how are you doing? So in this video we're going to be going over the notes of the guitar and where to find them. So we're just going to start off with the notes of the open strings and then we'll find them on the fretboard. So starting from the 6th string down to the 1st, we've got E, A, B, G, B and then E. And that's the notes of all the open strings on the guitar there. So what we'll do now is we're going to go from the focus on the 6th string, we'll find the notes on the frets for the 6th string there. So starting again with the open string, you've got E, and then you're going to go straight onto F on the 1st fret, F sharp or G flat on the 2nd fret, G on the 3rd fret, G sharp or A flat on the 4th fret, A on the 5th fret, A sharp or B flat on the 6th fret, B on the 7th fret, C on the 8th fret, C sharp or D flat on the 9th fret, D on the 10th fret, D sharp or E flat on the 11th fret, and then we're on to E onto the 12th fret there. So once you get to the 12th fret and all the strings, you're just going to be, they're going to be the exact same notes as the open strings. So you get E, A, D, G, B, and then E, and that's you there. So what you will notice as well is that after a few of the notes I said sharp and flat. I won't get into too much detail about sharps and flats in this video. I'll have one up later on and I'll talk more about them. But what to remember is after every note apart from B and E, you're going to have a sharp going after that. Now with the sharp and the flats, F sharp and G flat are the exact same note. But again, I'll do another video talking more about sharps and flats later on. But just for this video, after every note except the B and D, you're going to have a sharp following some of the notes, like all the other notes there. Okay, so that was all the notes on the 6th string, covering from the 1st fret up to the 12th. What I will recommend as well is finding the notes from the 13th fret upwards up until the very end of your fretboard, because it's really important to know where all the notes are on all of the fretboard, so especially if you're wanting to learn scales and chords and everything. It's good to know where they are. So try and just work up from the 12th fret up to the very end of your fretboard where all the notes are from there on as well. So the next one we'll go on to is our 5th string, which is A, and then we're going to go on to our 1st fret, which is A sharp, A sharp or B flat, sorry I should say. So 5th string, 1st fret is A sharp or B flat, 2nd fret we're on to B, 3rd fret we're on to C, 4th fret we're on to C sharp or D flat, 5th fret we're on to D, 6th fret we're on to D sharp or E flat, 7th fret we're on to E, 8th fret we're on to F, 9th fret we're on to F sharp or G flat, 10th fret we're on to G, 11th fret we're on to G sharp or A flat, and then up to the 12th fret we're back at our A again. And that's all the notes on the 5th string. And then from the 4th string we've got the D. On the 1st fret we've got D sharp or E flat, 2nd fret we've got E, 3rd fret we've got F, 4th fret we've got F sharp or G flat, 5th fret we've got G, 6th fret we've got G sharp or A flat, 7th fret we've got A, 8th fret we've got A sharp or B flat, 9th fret we've got B, 10th fret we've got C, 11th fret we've got C sharp or D flat, and then on the 12th fret we've got the D again. So that's just the first 3 strings there. So what I will do is I'll give you a wee bit of homework. From the 3rd string down, I'll let you figure out where to go from the 1st fret up to the 12th fret. So what to remember is you're going up alphabetically. So whatever the open string is, you're going up alphabetically from there. And then once you get to G sharp, you're going straight onto A. So there's no H note or anything. So once you get to G sharp, you're going straight onto A and then back upwards from there. So again, if you've got your E string, then you're going straight to F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, and then so on and so forth. So that's just one way to remember it, is from whatever string you're starting from, you're going to be going alphabetically up from then on. And you've got a sharp after every note except the B and E. So I'll let you work that one out from the third string down to the first string, see if you can find the notes on there. And what I would recommend as well is if you get a pen and paper and just draw out your own fretboard, write the notes of the open strings down at the side, and then just write the notes on the frets of your own fretboard there as well. And then you can keep that with you. And then if you're on the bus or the train on the way into work and you're wanting to try and remember what note goes where on the fretboard, just pull out that bit of paper and have a look at it, and there you've got it there. So it is an important thing to know the notes of the open strings, especially if you're going to tune your guitar, then you need to know the open strings. So before, it's good to get into the habit of tuning your guitar every time you pick it up. So even if you're just wanting to mess about with a few chords for a few minutes, you never know what can happen in that few minutes. So you can actually mess about with a chord progression, and you can actually like what you're just playing there, and you can think, oh, that sounds really good, I'm going to make that a song of my own. And that's you one song closer to getting that EP done, you're one song closer to getting that album done, you've got a new song for your set list, you've got a new song for your fans to listen to. You can also accidentally start playing the intro or the riff to one of your favourite songs. You can play the start of the solo to one of your favourite songs. So that's why it's always important to tune your guitar before you start playing, even if you're just messing about with it for 5 minutes. Because again, you can do that. You can start messing about and going, oh, I like that chord progression, or that's that favourite song, that's my favourite song that I just played there. And you can sit, and 5 minutes can then turn into an hour of practice. So it's good to know all the notes on the open strings. It's also good to know the notes on the fretboard as well. So there's a lot of people that don't bother trying to find the notes on the fretboard. The reason it is important to know is if you are wanting to work on, say, your lead playing and you want to know the scales, it's good to know the notes for going on to play your scales. Especially going on to play chords as well, and to find out what notes belong to each chord. So one thing I've noticed with a lot of my students is when they're starting off, is a lot of them remember the chord shape more than the actual name, which isn't a bad thing. The more they practice, they'll remember what name goes to what chord shape, the more they practice it. So I'll give them a sheet of music and they'll see G chord and they'll know exactly what to play. But when they start to play, they remember the shape, which is quite handy. Yeah, so you can look at that and you can know, well, you'll know that's a G shape, but you won't actually know it's a G chord or whatever. So you've got certain shapes that you can remember when you're playing the guitar. But if you're wanting to learn a song where you've got to play bar chords the whole way through the song, that's when you'll be in a bit of trouble if you don't know what note is where on the fretboard. So with bar chords, their shapes are the exact same. So if you look here, that's a G major bar chord. Right, so if I was to say, so if you didn't know the 6th string and the 3rd fret was the G note, and I said play a G bar chord for me, you can play the major bar chord shape, but you won't know whereabouts in the fretboard to play it. So if you were to play it there, that's an A sharp major bar chord, and if you notice there, it's the exact same shape as a G major bar chord. The exact same shape the whole way up the neck, so it doesn't change at all. So that's another reason why it's important to memorise the notes on the fretboard as well, so that if you're going to play a song and you've got to play bar chords, it's good to find out where you're going to be putting the bar chord on the fretboard, so they're all the exact same shape. It's the same with your minor chords. Just lift your middle finger off, and that's a G minor bar chord. Then up there, that's an A sharp minor bar chord, then B and C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. Okay, so it's all the same shapes. So that's why, again, it's good to remember all the notes on the fretboard as well. So that will help you with your lead playing when you're going over your scales, and when you're going over playing some bar chords as well, you'll know exactly where to put them on the fretboard. So a way to get on with having a practice with that. So what I would recommend again is just just draw your own wee fretboard and write down the notes for the open strings just down at the side, and then you're just going up alphabetically from the first fret up to wherever you run out of space in the paper. Just draw all the frets up until you've run out, and then you're just going up alphabetically from there on, and you're just adding in a sharp after every note except B and E. So that's your homework there. Okay, so we covered the 6th, 5th and the 4th string, which was E, A and D, and then we'll let you just figure out what notes are from the G, the B and the E. From the G, B and the E string there, from the first fret up to the very end of the guitar there. So I'll let you get on with practicing that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe because I'll have more videos coming up for you, and I'll see you later on. Bye.